All right, hello there, my friend, and welcome. My name is Trevor Page, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can go about getting more customers by increasing your sales, gaining valuable insights into your customers' mindset, and even how to grow your email list, and all this in 5 simple steps. Does that sound good to you? I hope so, because that sounds too good to be true, but I promise you, my friend, it is not. So, step one, you need to learn who your customers are. Because, first of all, knowing your potential customers is key to your ongoing success. The more you know about them, the more you can talk to them, speak in their language. And when you can speak in their language and explain their problem better to them than they even know how to explain it to themselves, you've got them. You have them exactly where you want them. So knowing who they are and knowing how they think is critical. So you got to know what they want. You got to know what they expect from your product or service. Like I said, you have to know exactly what their problem is better than they could define it themselves. You need to know how they heard about you, because knowing how they heard about you helps you to understand where these people are coming in from, and it makes you understand, how well is your marketing money, your marketing dollars, how well are they working for you, okay? Also, you want to have to judge their interest in your product or service. If someone just isn't interested into you, if they're just not that into you, then there's no point in pursuing them further. Okay? Now, this is all fairly typical stuff. If you don't already understand this, then, well, I can't really help you out. But if you do understand this, and that's great, we can go on to step two. Now, step two is to pull all that together is to use surveys. These are so important in today's business activities, especially online. If you have a product or service, you should be using a survey to ask your potential customers questions. So with these surveys, you can learn exactly who your customers are. You can ask them specific questions that you are dying to know the answer to. All right, so for example, how did you hear about us? That's a great way to learn exactly how they heard about you, to see exactly how your marketing dollars are being spent and how effective those marketing dollars are. All right, you can ask them how excited they are about your product. Okay, you can ask them, on a scale of 1 to 10, really tell me honestly, how excited are you? All right, so you can see exactly what the level of comfort or the level of excitement any given customer has when they first sort of land on your page. All right. Now, how likely is it? You could also ask, how likely is it that you would recommend us to a friend or a colleague? All right, that's a great way to know also, essentially, how excited they are about your product. Because if they're willing to promote it to their friends, then you know that you have someone who is a fanatic about your product or service. All right. Also ask them, do you have any suggestions for improving our products or services? It's a great way to understand more about your customer and how they feel about your product. Okay. Excellent. Just that one question, you can make such leaps and bounds in your sales process, in your product creation. Just such an amazing question to ask and get real answers to. And you can even ask, how likely are you to visit our website again? That's sort of, if you don't really have any other great questions to ask, that's always a good one to throw in there. I'd highly recommend that you check out a podcast episode. This guy, Ezra Firestone of smartmarketer.com, he uses surveys, and he, as part of his strategy, that actually tripled his conversion rate. So if you're interested, check out that podcast episode. It's actually on Conversion Cast, which is a new podcast by the Lead Pages software. All right, so now step 3, this is the secret sauce. I'm sure you know about surveys already. I'm sure you know they're great, but I'm willing to bet that you don't know one specific thing that is the secret sauce that supercharges surveys. So like I said, surveys are great, but incentivized surveys are sizzling hot, okay? If you don't know what an incentivized survey is, I will explain. Offering a reward for filling out a survey is how you incentivize a survey. And it actually increases the response rate of the survey. So if you increase the response rate of the survey, you get more survey responses. That equals more valuable insights that you can gain from your customers. And with those valuable insights, you can translate that into more sales by understanding your customers' wants and needs. Now, even better, offering a coupon code as a reward. So not just a bonus, but a coupon code is an incredibly effective psychological technique that actually skyrockets your sales conversions. Now I'm saying this because I know this. I've seen it happen firsthand for a bunch of my own products as well as my customers' products. This technique is insane how well it works. I can't sing its praises enough. Just an incredible technique. So let's go on to number 4, which is where you need to ask for their email address. Okay, so you've got this, let's say you've set up a survey. Let's say you're offering a coupon as a reward for filling out the survey. If you want to, deliver that coupon code to that potential customer, you're obviously going to need their email address to make this whole thing work. Obviously, if you're promising something, you need to deliver on it. So you could set up your own survey using any survey software out there and put it on your website and say, hey, if you fill out my survey, I will give you, $10 off my product, 10% off my product, 100% off my product. Of course, you can say whatever you like, as long as you follow through at the end. And a great way to do that is to ask for their email address, because not every person who fills out a survey and gets a coupon code will actually purchase your product. All right, and there's many factors that go into that, but having their email address will allow you to keep on touching base with that potential customer and hopefully convert them into a paying customer later. All right, so be sure to ask for their email address during the survey process. Now, here's a tip. Always ask for the email address as the last question on the survey. If you ask for it as the first question, a lot more people will bounce off because that's sort of a high friction question to ask. So if you ask it at the end of the survey, people will feel more compelled to give you their email address because they've already sort of put in a bunch of work by filling out all these other survey responses. Okay, so you're offering them a reward. You're saying, I will give you a coupon code or this special bonus, but you ask them for that email address at the end, and they know they're right there. They just need to give their email address, and they'll get what it is that they've been working hard to get, so they're going to be more likely to give you their email address. Now, that's great. All those steps are fantastic. Anyone and their brother can implement that strategy today, right now, for free. But here's where it gets really cool. How to automate this process. Automating this process is key. So you can use tools that actually will automate this process. This allows you to scale this technique. So there's no need to manually email coupon codes after every single person has given you a survey response, who's filled out a survey and sent it to you, all right? There's no need to have to manually touch base with every single one of those people, all right? Using tools to do this, to automate this, frees you up to work on whatever else you need to work on in your business, because I'm sure you are a busy person on any given day of the week, all right? Now, here's a tip. If you use a countdown timer on your survey, so on the final page of the survey, right when you give away that coupon code, if you're using a particular tool to automate this process, you can show a countdown timer and actually say, if you like, you can use this coupon code, but if you do not redeem this coupon code within, let's say, 20 minutes, you won't be able to use the coupon code anymore. It has expired. So using a countdown timer actually helps convert those who are on the fence, who are almost there, who are almost ready to pull the trigger, but because they see that countdown timer, they have that sense of urgency, it really helps to finalize their decision-making process and allows them to pull the trigger. So, I'm sure you're interested in knowing, because you don't want to have to go out and do all the research yourself, you're interested in knowing if there is a tool out there that automates this process. And of course, there is. It's called Survey to Sale. Now, Survey to Sale is something that I've created, and it goes through everything that I just taught you and supercharges the entire process. You can create a survey and embed it on your website, and that survey will sort of slide up, and it's very unobtrusive, and it will actually get people to fill out a survey and offer them a coupon code at the very end. Now, if you like, I can show you exactly how this process works. I'm going to go through and show you exactly how to set up a survey inside of Survey to Sale. Now, I can tell you from all the customers that I have, the average response rate to these surveys is between 8 and 10%. So between 8 and 10% of the total volume of traffic that lands on the websites of my customers, 8 to 10% of those people, the total volume, actually take action and fill out these surveys. And that is an incredible amount of people. And it's because you are incentivizing the survey. And I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and add a new survey. And the beauty of this app is that you're going to see exactly what the survey is going to look like on your website. So I'm going to type in a little greeting here. And when I type it in, it's going to show up down here. So I'm just going to say, time to save some cash. All right, maybe ... So there we go. We set it up. That's our greeting. That's the line that we're using to pull in your website visitors to fill out your survey. I'm going to go ahead and click on next. And now I'm going to fill out a sub greeting. So I'm just going to, type in exactly what you see here. Each survey answer grants you more savings. All right, now we're going to set an actual savings start point. So we're going to say where we want to start our savings. So we'll start it at 10%, and you'll see it pops up here. It says save 10%. So this is what is prompting or incentivizing your users, your website visitors, to actually fill out this survey. And then we're just going to say for every answer they give, we'll give another 5% increment. So for every answer they give, we're going to increment that savings by 5%. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on next, and I'm going to start adding in questions. So the first question I want to ask is, how did you hear about us? That's a great question to ask. So you can see as you type it in, it starts to appear down here. Now we'll say the type of answer, we'll just say, multiple choice. And we'll add in some answers. So we'll say Google is, how you heard about us, maybe Yahoo, maybe Bing, maybe a podcast, maybe social media. It completely is up to you. It's open-ended, and you can see it sort of fills it out here, and you can actually switch up the number of columns if you like. So you can make it 1 columns, 2 columns, 3 columns. I think 3 looks pretty good here, so that's what I'm going to leave it as. And I'm going to go ahead and say add the next question. So now we're actually going to be able to see that savings amount goes up to 15%. So now our second question I want to ask is, how much do you love our product? Question mark. How about that? That's a great question to ask. And I'm going to do another multiple choice. And here I'm just going to say, and maybe we'll say on a scale of 1 to 5 or something like that. Okay? And you can actually add in, your answer of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we can actually set up having 5 different columns. So a scale of 1 to 5, you can say exactly how much they like your product, all right? So it's pretty open-ended. You can do whatever you like, but the most important and coolest feature of this particular application is that you can ask for their email address. So what is your best email address? And you can actually say type of email. So you can actually select the email type of answer. And what this does is you can link it up with an email delivery system, okay? So I've configured my particular account here to be configured with MailChimp, all right? So this is actually going to integrate with MailChimp, and I'm going to be able to select from my own email list which email list I want to sort of integrate this survey into, all right? So I'm just going to choose my survey to sale email list, and I can actually enable whether or not it's a double opt-in or not. And I can even allow them to enable the first name checkbox or text box or the last name, okay? So you can see as I check those boxes, I can actually see that it's going to be asking for the first name and last name. But I only like to ask for the first name because that's just how I roll. So there you go. I can actually ask for their email address, and it will automatically be integrated with MailChimp, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and say next now to fill out the actual reward screen. So this screen is where you actually will reward your customer, or your potential customer rather, with the actual coupon code that they have earned, which in this particular case is 20%. So I'm going to say, okay, my survey heading here can be, congratulations, here's your reward. And then I can say, here's your coupon code, and, example coupon code. You can put in whatever you like as a coupon code. Maybe I'll say, survey 123 or something is the coupon code. And you can sort of play around with this, and you can format this text, and you can make it maybe a subscript, and you can maybe make it, red text or something like that. And I'm going to say, note, this coupon expires in 15 minutes. So now I've said it expires in 15 minutes, and I can actually add a countdown timer up here. I can say 15 for 15 minutes, and there you go. It's going to integrate a countdown timer to add that sense of urgency. Like I was explaining before, urgency is very important for when you're giving away a coupon code. So it gets those people who are on the fence to convert right away. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on Next to go to the options screen. So this is where you actually say what website you want this particular survey to actually appear on. So you can type in your website. I'll say yourwebsite.com. It can be whatever you like. I even have conversion tracking here. So if you have a thank you page, you can copy paste this script onto your thank you page, and you can actually track who became your paying customers, and you can see how they became your paying customer. If they filled out a survey, if they didn't fill out a survey. Even at a click of a button, you can enable split testing, so you can have it show or not show the actual survey itself, so you can see exactly if this product, this survey to sale product, which is the name of the product, if survey to sale is actually doing you a favor by getting you more conversions. So it's very easy. You just check that box and the whole system will handle that for you. You can actually enable an auto pop-up delay, so you can say that the survey will slide up after, let's say, 20 seconds or something like that. So after someone has been on your website for 20 seconds, that survey is just going to slide up and it's going to grab their attention, and that's a great way to convert them into, survey responses and even survey or even sales, okay? Because like I said, for every person who fills out a survey, they are more likely. They are like 5 times more likely to actually purchase your product. Okay. Now there's one little, boring thing here where you can enable exact website match. I won't get into those details. If you want to, you can sign up for a 14-day free trial. No credit card required. You can learn all about all the different features that this amazing piece of software has. So by all means, go to surveytosale.com right now. Check it out. You can sign up for that 14-day free trial. All you need to do is fill out the survey on my page, and I can give you the link directly to that 14-day free trial. No credit card required. You literally have nothing to lose by signing up for Survey to Sale and just giving it a shot. And all you have to gain is sales, conversions, knowledge of your customers, and all of those aspects that I just talked about how important they are in increasing your sales revenues. And let me tell you, I've seen over a 200% increase in my own sales. I have one customer who has literally gone from $0 of passive sales to over $12,000 in sales in 1 month. All he did was put Survey to Sale on his website. So this technique is amazing. It's off the charts what this thing can do for you. So you have nothing to lose by just trying it out. I'm sure, I promise you, you're going to see incredible results. Check it out, surveytosale.com. Fill out that survey on my website. Sign up for the 14-day free trial. I can't wait to see you in there. All the best. Take care. Bye for now.